Hi fam, Shay here from Big Sis Me, your one-stop shop for all your big sisterly advice. So, you feel like someone in your life doesn't like you, or that maybe nobody likes you at the moment. Maybe you find that your friends actively exclude you when they make plans, or that you're often made to feel like an afterthought in your own social circle. That's okay. We've all felt that way and we've all been there. Let me share a story from my life and the lessons I've learnt the hard way so that you don't have to. My upcoming advice, by the way, does not supersede that of your doctor or therapist. If you find yourself struggling, please seek professional help. Now then, let's get on with the video. Picture this. You go to a school that your parents had to work multiple jobs between the two of them to put you through. Now, imagine that you are a skinny, short, beanpole of a brown girl who had just recently moved to the southern hemisphere with her family, with an accent considered unfavourable by her fellow schoolgoers, and you can almost write the ending to this story. If you guessed that there was loads of bullying, plenty of racism, a surprising amount of which was from people who were within your own skin colour wheel, you would be correct. That little girl was me, and I spent a lot of time thinking that absolutely no one liked me. Now, I didn't have any big sisters or family to sit me down and tell me what I'm about to tell you, which is that it's perfectly okay to not be liked. You heard me. It's perfectly okay to not be liked. I wish someone had told me this a long time ago, because it would have saved me a lot of heartache and stopped me from wasting a bunch of time trying to fit in. The scars that school give you can last well into adulthood, sometimes even a lifetime, and can shape how you see yourself. And boy, did I carry those with me everywhere I went without realising it. Now that I've set the scene, here are the 6 lessons that I've learnt to help me overcome being disliked. Lesson 1. Firstly, there is nothing wrong with wanting to be liked. Many of us want to be accepted or acknowledged by our family, friends, colleagues, and sometimes even strangers on the street or the internet. But the reality of life is that we aren't always going to be accepted or liked, whether we like it or not. And that's going to have to be okay. Lesson 2. Not all relationships will grow into something meaningful, or give you the acceptance or recognition you may want or even desperately need. That's okay too. The most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself, because you are the only person who has to be around yourself 24/7. Lesson 3. People are complicated, and you're never fully going to know what's going on with them, in some cases even if you happen to live with them. So being okay with not being liked can give you a sense of freedom and release you from the burden of expectations. It can also help you to get out of the way of some of the emotional damage. In my case, I later realised that some of my so-called friends were experiencing a lot of pressure in their home life, or themselves felt insecure. And they in turn took it out on the closest and most vulnerable target, which happened to be me. Had I realised that nothing I did in my case was ever going to be good enough or help me to fit in with my so-called friends, I wouldn't have tried so hard, and would have avoided interacting with them beyond what was necessary. This would have saved me from at least a few hurtful situations. Lesson 4. Do not disregard your feelings about this. Acknowledge your feelings about the person, people, or situation that's using up your thinking time, because the fact is that you can't travel too far without first recognizing what is hindering or hurting you. You can't go on a long road trip if your car is low on fuel or about to break down because it hasn't been taken in for its regular checkup at the mechanics. Being in denial about the state of your transport is the perfect way to end up stranded, lost, or worse. I spent a lot of time pretending that what was happening to me was not a big deal, and that I was being overly sensitive when my friends made me the butt of their jokes, or happened to treat each other with a lot more respect and kindness than they did me. This is called gaslighting or self-sabotage. It was just much easier to hide and push down these uncomfortable feelings than it was to face the truth. But the truth, as they say, would have set me free. This leads me to Lesson 5. Once you've identified what's hurting you, you can now spend time trying to understand why it matters so much to you. Take stock of your whys, so to speak, because this will help you to decide what you can do about it. More often than not, you'll discover some new insights about yourself and hopefully also achieve some realizations about the people or situation that are making you feel disliked. It's all about identifying tangible actions where possible, and this could be your opportunity to try and understand what's going on with the people in your life, because you should definitely do your best to communicate and resolve any challenges without giving up on your personal boundaries or values. Maybe you could reach out to the person or people to talk about how you feel, if it's safe to do so, and let them know how you would like to be treated. You may also find through self-reflection that there are things that you might need to do to improve how you come across to people. If you need more advice on how to do this, let me know in the comments and I'll create more content about it. Alternatively, you may have to come to terms with the fact that nothing you do is going to change their opinion of you. This has to be okay because you can't lose yourself to fit into someone's expectations of you. It could just be them and not you. In my case, I would have realized that I felt like a lonely oddball who didn't seem to belong anywhere and found that getting insulted was better than being alone. Perhaps after this realization, I could have worked up the courage to ask for help from a trusted adult, involved myself in some authentic hobbies, or maintained better friends. Maybe I would have learnt to enjoy my own company more and realised that it's better to be alone than to put myself through the repeated trauma of being bullied. This leads me to lesson number 6. While you work on figuring out what you can or can't do about it, it's important you spend your time creating a personal space and mindset where you treat yourself with kindness and positivity, because hopefully and eventually, positive energy will beget positive energy. Since this is a topic all on its own, if you need some ideas on how to treat yourself and your personal space with kindness, have a look at this video here. However you choose to approach this, make sure you take your time, work with the energy that the situation is generating, and understand that as long as you grow your own relationship with yourself, bit by bit, minute by minute, everything else and everyone else gets to be a wonderful bonus. If you like this content, please feel free to share, comment, subscribe, and turn on those notification bells. It really helps this channel reach others who may need to hear this message. And if you don't like this content, that's okay too. I'd love to know more about it. Until next time, be kind to yourself and have a great day.